Stephen Sondheim's A Little Night Music was the best musical of 1973. Based on director Ingmar Bergman's only comedy film, it tells the story of the romantic foibles of the upper class in Sweden at the turn of the 20th century. Although a more practical philosophy is expressed by a member of the servant class.
I shall marry the miller's son. Pin my hat on a nice piece of property. Friday nights for a bit of fun. We'll go dancing. It's a wink and a wiggle and a giggle in the grass. Now trip the light fandango. A pinch and a diddle in the middle of what passes by. It's a very short road from the pinch and the punch to the paunch and the pouch and the pension. It's a very short road to the 10,000 lunch and the belch and the crouch and the sigh. In the meanwhile, there are mouths to be kissed before mouths to be fed, and a lot in between in the meanwhile. And a girl ought to celebrate what passes by. Or I shall marry the businessman. 5 fat babies and lots of security. Friday nights, if we think we can, we'll go dancing. Meanwhile, it's a push and a bumble and a tumble in the sheets. Now put the Highland fancy, a dip in the butter and a flutter with what meets my eye. It's a very short bench from the push and the whoop to the squint and the stoop and the bumble. It's not much of a stretch to the cribs and the croup and the bosoms that droop and go dry. In the meanwhile, there are mouths to be kissed before mouths to be fed, and there's many a tryst and there's many a bed to be sampled and seen in the meanwhile. And a girl has to celebrate what passes by. Or I shall marry the Prince of Wales. Pearls and servants and dressing for festivals. Friday night with him all entails. We'll have dancing. Meanwhile, it's a rip in the bustle and a rustle in the hay. I'll pitch the quick fantastic with flames of confetti and